the far beginning, God, simply known as the Creator, created the universe, but he wanted to see what will happen if this dimension was ruled by females. And he exactly did that. When humans were born, he shaped their DNA and logic to only spawn females first, then males, which he changed the course of history forever. However, their history remained exactly the same as ours up until World War II ended. Mao Zedong, along with the Chinese Communists, were defeated in the Chinese Civil War. The nationalists had won the Civil War. Then, South Korea won the Korean War. Tensions were twice as high compared to our world, but society never blowed up because no one would win in a nuclear war. In the early 2000s, the Soviet Union, along with its satellite states in Europe, still exists, but the Soviet Union was clearly weakened. After years of stagnation, corruption, and not advancing technology, as the years go by, communist revolutions across the world begin fading one by one. By 2020, the Western countries all united to form one singular entity that will prevent political strife and communist rebellions across their borders and lands. They form what is now known as the Confederation. The Confederation spanned from North America to Oceania, and they are made of multiple republics and states. While each state has its own freedom and will, the government still controls the army. At the Eastern Bloc, the communist countries all united into the Union of Socialists and Communists. Eventually, the Union overwhelms China and much of Asia. The two global powers face each other off for the next 30 to 40 years. In 2044, in Confederation territory in West Africa, scientists accidentally created a form of parasite that turns any biological organism into mindless zombies controlled by a hive mind. This outbreak decimates West Africa, turning West Africa into a wasteland occupied by zombies. In 2045, the Confederation land the first humans on Mars. And over the years, Space Station Alpha was created. In 2049, the war started. The two superpowers had begun fighting. Europe was hit the hardest. The Confederation rolls into former East German territory and secures it, and advances up until Warsaw. The front lines slow down because the Confederation's government wanted to keep the war as long as possible to build themselves a secret bunker where they will be safe while nukes will fall across the world. Later on, the higher levels of the government quickly band together along with business and military officers, and they form what is now known as the Enclave. The Enclave saw themselves as true humans. Their whole goal was to exterminate the non-humans and claim the planet as theirs, and possibly later on building themselves spaceships that will take them across the galaxies to colonize other planets and do galactic genocide to turn the universe into pure human. However, this wasn't known for a while at least. The Confederation develops many different types of weapons of war, such as dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts are basically war mechs, but bit more beefier and kind of like 40k dreadnoughts, but not piloted by a coffin. Instead, it is piloted by a normal person inside the cockpit. However, there are different types of dreadnoughts, some specialize in infiltration, some heavy units, etc. And with that, that is it. I don't have anything much to say, but if you want a part 2, let me know it. I will do some character breakdown for Ultra Magnus and faction breakdowns etc. later on. So with that, goodbye citizens.
And remember, Captain, be positive.